Welcome to the Destiny Keys, Life Purpose Astrology with Ahimsa Grace, astrology teacher and spiritual space holder, and Magri-Jade, Juice Fast Coach. We look at the stars and we know things.
All right, let's do it. Welcome to the Destiny Keys. This isn't our very first astrology chat. This is our first ever public astrology chat, but we talk about astrology all the time. And I'm so excited to dive in with you on this beautiful podcast. So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Ahimsa, and I am an astrology teacher. I'm the creator of the Destiny Keys, which is a powerful astrological modality that is so accessible and has literally changed the lives of hundreds of people, soon to be thousands, I'm sure. And this is the beautiful Magri-Jade. She is a juice fast coach and raw food extraordinaire. Do you want to introduce a little bit about yourself, Magri?
Yes, I am a Pisces sun, Virgo rising, and Aquarius moon. I don't like that Aquarius moon, but yeah, and I'm a detox specialist, so I help people with their diets and helping them feel good in their bodies and mind and spirit.
Love it. Love it. So once a month, Magri and I are going to be getting together to talk about astrology. We're going to be talking about the month that came before, the gifts that it brought, and maybe the challenges that we had as well, bringing us to those gifts. And then we'll be looking at the month that lies ahead so we can prepare ourselves and you guys for it, for what's to come. I'm also going to share the dates and times of the full moons and the new moons with ideas for rituals that are perfect for this particular moon's energies, plus an affirmation or a mantra for each moon. But for this chat, we're going to go back to the beginning of the astrological year. So we're going to look at Aries, Taurus, and Gemini season, just so that we can familiarize ourselves with where we've been. We only know where we're going when we understand where we've been and what life is trying to do for us. I know sometimes it feels like life is trying to do it to us, but what is life is doing for us? So if we go back in time a little bit, Magri, around the 20th of March, the sun moved into Aries, which marked 28 days of Aries season, the beginning of the year. Aries is very driven, very excitable energy where we just really want to run forward with things, although it didn't go quite the way it should have done for any of us. So how was Aries season for you? Do you remember?
Yeah, a lot of false starts with bits and pieces. Um, it felt like there was a really heavy, sticky, lully feeling. I had friends round and we were, had all these big ideas to go and do all these things, but we just felt like meh, we just wanted to loll about and not have much energy and not feel like our best anyway to be doing things. So yeah, it was a real sticky, heavy energy I found. I did get lots of things sorted, like sort of dentist with the kids and got got things organized, little bits, the building blocks perhaps.
Yeah, Aries season was so disappointing. So it's the first sign of the year, and we fly in, and we're like, I've got all these exciting things. And Aries is a cardinal fire sign. He wants to drive forward and get stuff done. And that's normally the energy we get to start the year. But this year it wasn't quite like that. For me, I have got a lot of exciting plans for this year. And because I know my astrology, I knew that it wasn't going to go the way I wanted it to. Like Aries season is meant to drive forward, and I knew there was going to be stumbling blocks. I get very frustrated, so I was really glad to know this. So we had the sun move into Aries on the 20th of March, and then the 25th of March, we had a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses are times for reflection and setting intentions. So it isn't a time for driving forward. And that then opened the Dragon's Portal, which is a 2 week period of reflection of what we need to let go so that we can move forward, what we want to move forward into. So that's 2 weeks of Aries season completely washed out. in the middle of that, was it? No. Yes, it was the middle of that, the 1st of April, Mercury went retrograde. Mercury takes us and says, oh, no, you can't do that cool stuff yet. You need to figure out how you're going to communicate. You need to figure out how you're going to get this to work. There's lots of travel delays. There's lots of tech issues and hitches. And it completely messed up Aries season for all of us. So that's kind of the astrological take on having all these amazing plans, but not being able to do anything with it. The life is kind of holding you back. And I think everyone felt like that. I think everyone felt that way. It's interesting to hear that we had really similar experiences. Um, so if Aries is like driving forward, Taurus season is almost like the remedy for Aries season, where we stop and we've moved forward, and then we put down roots, we build our foundations, we plant our seeds, we build something really solid with what we've already done and where we've already got. So Mercury retrograde ended 5 days into Taurus season. But on the 11th of May, which is coming towards the sort of end of Taurus season, so it might have felt quite good in the middle, the Pleiadian portal opened, which is 20 days of upgrades and downloads, and us having to shed the skins of things that we're kind of familiar with, that feel really comfortable. I've got to cough again. Sorry. So the Pleiadian portal, for me and so many people, brought up our worst fears. It brought up the worst things that could happen to us. It was horrible. And what it was life was showing us what we really prioritize. If I was to give you a glimpse of life without this, how would that feel? It would make me want to drive harder and work harder so that I can have that thing that's really important to me. So it kind of gave us a glimpse of taking things away from us that we really want and need, that are really important to us, so that we go, oh my God, no, I really want that. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to put more energy into that. So kind of reprioritizing, perhaps. We also had the Pluto retrograde begin on the 1st of May. So that's like a period of introspection when it comes to transformation and what changes we want in our lives. So Taurus season, was that when you left your job, Magri?
Yeah, left my job. I lost a friend. It was a really big transformational period. Yeah, making the decision to go out on my own. Absolutely petrifying. Yeah, I hit the gym hard. I was baking a lot of cakes as well. For the school, and yeah, I was yeah, it showed me a lot about what I want in my life, and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, it was a very big transformational time for me. Yeah, still feeling the remnants of it now.
Yeah, it was showing us what we want and what we don't want, wasn't it?
Mm,
Yeah. So that was meant to be our time of putting down roots, and instead we were kind of in a mutable energy of, oh, this has to go and this has to change, and Taurus is not a mutable energy, so it kind of felt like a mishmash. And now we're in Gemini
when did we have
season.
the aurora lights? I think it was like the 1st of May-ish, wasn't it? Or was it? It
The
was
aurora
around
light,
a weird
that
time.
happened the day the Pleiadian portal opened.
That
The
was it. That was
day
really exciting.
it was
Yeah.
like, I think of the Pleiadian portal as like the Pleiadians and the Pleiades like pouring light, rainbow light down onto us. And then my surprise when I checked my social media on the 12th of May, the day after it opened, and on the 11th of May, there was all these beautiful lights. And I was like,
Mm,
wow, like a lot of people said, oh, different theories as to why it might happen, that were kind of doom and gloom, but I know the astrology of it, and I know that it was an actual miracle. Like, it was incredible and really marked the opening of that portal, which was a really heavy, difficult portal. But
mm,
yeah, was it the day it opened or was it the peak of it? It was a very, very important day. I think it was when it opened.
mm. And most people saw it, and it was just, it had a great feeling about it. I know there's some conspiracies against it, but it felt good. It was lovely to see in our lifetime and most places, especially in the UK.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. I missed it, but I saved so many pictures because it was so beautiful. I was saving them all to my phone. I've still got them
Mm.
there. So then we've got Gemini season. So Aries is like, let's get stuff done. And Taurus is like, let's put down roots and get practical now. And Gemini is like, okay, well, we see where it worked. We see where it didn't work. Let's make some changes. Let's mix things up a bit. So Gemini is about networking and socializing and having fun and making things light and bringing your community together and sharing skills, helping each other. You know, I'm good at this, you're good at that. Let's skill swap. Let's do this. That's felt really really nice. We're coming to the end of Gemini season now, so we've had. The Pleiadian portal, which closed on the 30th of May. So that was about 10 days into Gemini season. So that is over. And I think some of us are still licking our wounds. I feel like some of us are still making sense of what's come over the past few weeks, and living from this place of new priorities, living from this place, okay, so this is really important to me. Now I need to figure out how to do it in a very committed way, in a very strong way. Um, it really feels relevant for you, actually.
Yeah, it all does. Even your Astro updates, it's like my life.
Yeah.
Got to catch them every morning, guys. If you don't already, sign up for them, because they're just little pearls of wisdom and kind of sets the tone for the day and know how to navigate these sticky situations. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So we've had there's been this huge buzzword over the past few months of Kazimi. There's a Venus Kazimi. That's an Arabic astrology phrase. It's cute, it's lovely. And what it means is the sun is conjunct Venus. They're next to each other in the sky. So Venus is love and what we want, and the sun is ego. So it's kind of like shining a light on what we want, how we love, how we want to be loved, and what we truly desire. And that was kind of smack bang in the middle of Gemini season, a lovely time for making changes so that we can get what we really want or reprioritize. If our life is very focused on getting certain things, but they're not what we want, they're what we think we should want. It's what we think we should do, what other people told us we need to do. What do we really want? And that happens, Venus conjunct the sun happens normally once a year. So yeah, it's very, very nice. It's very, very lovely energy. So what's Gemini season been bringing up for you in terms of your business, of your health, of your life?
Well, it's my mum's birthday. So that's always what I associate Gemini with, my mum. And it's also a sticky point in my star chart because I think I've got Chiron in there, and I have a tough time communicating my needs and a bit of a people pleaser, but I am, a bit of a social bunny and I love learning and all that. So yeah, at the moment it's affecting. I have been out, I have socialized, so I've been for a bit of dancing, so that's always nice. But yeah, I'm really trying to network and speak to people about my business and communicate properly. And not like an excited little puppy.
I remember you saying that you quite often catch yourself saying
Mm.
and it's learning to stop doing that.
Yeah, you
I think
can
that's a
just
big
pause and be quiet, and it's a little bit more intriguing for the other person if you don't just spit out words all the time. And I need to fill that gap. It comes across like you're a bit more confident. So yeah, that's something I'm really watching myself do or try not to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know your stuff. And a silence is a time for someone to reflect on what you've said and anticipate what you might say. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Gemini season. I've got some really amazing plans in the pipeline and it's getting everything in place. So yeah, it's felt really, really nice for me. And I feel now, as we step forward into Cancer season, which I'll talk about soon, it feels like some of this weirdness is going to be over, but there is something else that is really uncomfortable for all of us. I don't want to over explain it because there's a lot of planets involved, but you've got some real heavyweight planets sat over here in the sky, and they are taking it in turns to be in favorable angles or difficult angles to some of these faster moving planets. So we may have an opportunity, say, for transformation, but then we discover that we need to put structure in place and that pulls us back. And we may discover that we aren't really in the flow of things and not trusting life, and that pulls us back. And then we get the structure and we start to be able to move forward again. But then there's big changes that need to happen and we get pulled back. And I'm almost feeling like it's birthing pangs. You know, it's that expansion and that contraction. And rather than feel like life is pulling us back and stopping us, what's happening is life is allowing you to move forward, showing you what you need to do for the next step, and then showing you how to do that, and then releasing you for that next step. So it's almost like waves of the ocean. So if we can sort of feel into it as those waves, even though it's making me feel a bit seasick with all of this changeability, I guess, um, allowing that pulling back to be part of the process and not something that we have to fight against. Have you been living that as well? Because I certainly have.
Yeah, I'm always sort of trying to pull. Well, when I'm pulled back, it's really frustrating because I just want to go full steam ahead with everything. Um, yeah, so I've been feeling like I've been whipped around.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's kind of, and that's going to carry on. That's going to carry on through Cancer season and Leo season. So that is something that we just kind of have to get used to. But what it might be nice to do is at the end of Leo season, reflect on where we were in Aries season at the beginning of the year and where we are now. And then we'll see why that contraction and expansion was necessary over that sort of 5, 6 month period. And then in the future, if it happens again, we'll remember. We'll go, I remember 2024. That happened all the time. It's okay. This is me growing and expanding, and then preparing for the next step.
Mm.
So I want to look forward to Cancer season. So Cancer season begins with the in the Northern Hemisphere, the summer solstice, 20th of June, until the 21st of July. So the summer solstice is like the full moon of astrology. Sorry, the full moon of the solar astrology. So it's like a time of celebrating everything that we've done, even though we've not managed to do very bloody much with this energy. But everything that we've done, releasing the things that didn't work, letting go and celebrating our progress. So that's a really nice one to mark. I go to the woods for summer solstice. I don't go on the day. Normally it's a couple of days after or before, to get together with friends and kind of celebrate how far each of us has come. And then Cancer season this year is really, really special. It's got 2 full moons in Cancer season. So there's always Capricorn full moon in Cancer season because they sit opposite each other in the sky. So I'll give you some dates, guys. We've got the 22nd of June, but really it's the evening of the 21st is the closest night to the Capricorn full moon. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning in the UK, 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock in the evening on the 21st for America. So the night of the 21st is the Capricorn full moon. And this is a time again of letting go. So, what are we letting go of? We're letting go of the low road of Capricorn. Capricorn's the father, it's the patriarchy. So, the low road of Capricorn is overworking, it's being emotionally closed. It's feeling like we're not good enough unless we're achieving all the time and making tons of money. Um, so that's a time of letting go. I'm going to give you guys a few affirmations and rituals to go with the moons as well in a moment. But on the 27th of July, the Sirius Stargate opens, and that's open for 20 days. It peaks on the 6th of July. So the Sirius Stargate, this is when the sun aligns with our central sun, Sirius, and they shine together onto the Earth. That is astrologically what is going on. So it feels like the Pleiadian portal was showing us what we really want in quite a brutal way. It feels like the Sirius Stargate portal is going to show us where we need to take more care of ourselves, nurture ourselves, love ourselves, self-care, not overworking, being okay with sort of building a structure and then flowing within that structure around these beautiful foundations of taking care of ourselves and loving our bodies and being with our families and all that lovely stuff. So I feel like that's what's going to be revealed, and I'm excited to review this at the end of Cancer season and see what it did and what happened. Then we've got a couple of planets go retrograde at the end of June. 29th of June is Saturn retrograde, and the 2nd of July is Neptune retrograde. Again, these are just times of going within. Where do I need to build more structure? Where am I in illusion? Where can I be more into my intuition and flow? They're going to be retrograde for ages. And then we've got the Cancer new moon. This is on the 5th of July, but again, it's going to be more like the evening of the 4th of July, which is American Independence Day. That's interesting. So new moons are a time for setting intentions. So this is going to be intentions around, again, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, nurturing yourself. Self-care isn't like, oh, I need to take a bath. If that's self-care for you, then great. What would you say self-care would be? I mean, you must help people with this quite a lot, Magri.
Yeah, for me, I mean, for me personally, my self-care is working out at the gym and releasing those endorphins and getting the blood pumping. It helps to direct my thoughts and my airhead. So that's my kind of self-care, and also getting clear on my thoughts, journaling, writing things down, brain dumping, like we discussed earlier today. That's my self-care. Yeah, sometimes it's a bath, but not very often. Soap dodger.
I like a bath. I like a bath in the winter when it's cold because it warms me up. Self-care for me is sitting in my conservatory in the summer and just allowing myself to nap or be in the sun, get my hands in the dirt in the garden. I know that's good for you as well. Being hot and being grounded, I think, are my self-care.
I love being hot, too
Yeah.
hot, like a lizard.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's some self-care. Self-care, it's like setting your intentions for self-care isn't just do self-care on the new moon, it's do it all the time, build it into your life. And then right at the end of Cancer season, we've got another Capricorn full moon. So again, this is 11:17 in the morning in the UK. So this is more like the 20th of July. And again, we're letting go. So anything that's been coming up for you where you're not doing enough self-care, where you're working too hard, you're treating yourself like a robot rather than the beautiful, squishy human that you are, this is a time to let go of all of that, those beliefs under it that you're not good enough unless you're working really, really hard. It's time to let that go a little bit. So I have some rituals that you can do for the full moons and the new moon of Cancer season. I'll be sharing these every month so that you can really honor the energies. So again, Cancer season is about nurturing yourself. It's being home, it's being with your family, it's self-care, it's cooking good food and making yourself all snug, yeah. So that's a priority in Cancer season because the sun is shining on this energy that's within all of us. The Cancer season full moon number one, this is Capricorn full moon. We're letting go of closed emotions, of overworking, of maybe the father wound as well. So, great things you can do as a ritual around the full moon. Go climb a hill. Go climb a hill. Capricorn is the goat. Get yourself climbing up, move your body. It's going to feel really, really good. You could write a letter of forgiveness or even a big old rant to your father or father figure. You don't have to tell him, you don't have to send it, you can burn it. And that's a lovely letting go ritual. Having a fire on the full moon, it's brilliant. So, forgiving or letting go of anything that you're holding on to around the father. You can also write 2 columns of what you're letting go of and what you're replacing it with. So maybe I let go of being emotionally closed. I embrace expressing my emotions. I release overworking. I embrace being worthy. No matter how much I work, I mean, maybe a fewer words than that. And what you can do is write 1 column for each, tear it down the middle, and then safely set fire to what you're releasing. You can say them out loud. I release overworking. I release my father wound, whatever that might be, and let that go. And a lovely mantra is I approve of myself. Quite a lot of the patterns that we have are seeking approval from Big Brother, from the father figure, from the patriarchy. What if you approve of yourself? That's really, really powerful stuff. So you can say that in the mirror. We were talking about that this morning, saying affirmations and mantras in the mirror. It's really powerful to look yourself in the eye, put your hand here on your neck gently or on your heart, and tell yourself, I approve of myself, I am worthy. It's very, very powerful. Speaks directly to the subconscious mind and the inner child. Then we've got the new moon. This is the Cancer new moon. So it's around embracing self-care, embracing nurturing yourself and others, being emotionally vulnerable, finding safety in your home, embodying the mother and forgiving the mother as well. So lovely rituals you can do is have a salt bath, light some candles, self-care, whatever that means to you, acupuncture or massage or a bath or journaling or just lying in the hot sun like a lizard like we do. Write a letter to your mom or write a letter as a mother to your inner child. Again, you don't have to do anything with them, just get it out. Free writing. We were talking about free writing the other day. It's really worked for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I did struggle in the beginning, and you gave me the great tip of just write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. And then it's like, well, why don't I know what to write? Oh, I feel stupid, blah, blah. And then you just go off into a little, yeah, dreamland, and it just writes away. And yeah, I found that I would get rid of those afterwards, because some people, well, one person found my scribblings once, and it didn't make much sense, but there was some crazy stuff in there. Yeah.
Like tapping directly into the subconscious, it's tapping directly into a dialogue with your inner child. And then you can say, oh my God, I forgot about that friend that I had when I was 8 and we fell out. Wow, that's still impacting me on a subconscious level now. And you can write a letter to, let's say it is a friend who upset you when you were 8. So that you can close that story in your subconscious mind and be free from it. So a lovely mantra for Cancer season is I embrace self-care. I love myself. I am worthy, perhaps something around that to tell yourself that you are worthy of taking care of yourself. And then we've got the other full moon. Normally, there's just one full moon and one new moon in each sort of solar season, but this one has 2. So this is again the Capricorn full moon. It's another big let go, whatever's been coming up over the month, patterns of belief, habits, thoughts, behaviors, going deeper with that Capricorn of overworking and father wound. So you can do the same exercises I mentioned earlier, but maybe there's a different focus this time. Maybe it's more on the father than it was on the overworking, perhaps. Or maybe you're just going a little bit deeper. And a lovely mantra is I am always worthy of love and respect. I'm always worthy of love and respect. Because that respect is that Capricorn stuff, it's that father stuff, and you're worthy of it as well. Um, So how does Cancer season line up with what's happening in your world? Like, what is the next step as we move into Cancer season for you, do you think?
Well, I'm probably going to be nurturing a few clients, perhaps, maybe a little bit of spiritual midwifery, birthing these people from the juice fast out into the raw way of eating. I would also add to the mantras, I am worthy of nourishing myself. I would say with fruits and vegetables, but with whatever else you guys like to nourish yourself, because as busy mums as well, some of us, you don't feel like you're bottom of the pile, especially when it comes to eating and anything like that, and any self-care really. And you are worthy of at least 15 minutes a day an hour, I would say an hour to do that for yourself. So yeah, nourish yourselves in all senses of the word. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to nourishing myself and my body and the kids and the business. Yeah.
Yeah, because it almost lines up. I know it isn't the school holidays, but the kids break up just after the end of Cancer season. So yeah, just giving them that love through the last few weeks of school, and that nurturing and yourself as well. For me, I really like Cancer season. I home educate my little boy, so we have a lot of adventures because the weather's warmer, but the kids haven't broken up from school. We like to do the things before the kids break up while it's quiet. So we'll go out to splash parks and we'll go out to, fun things that are going to get a little bit too busy to properly enjoy when the kids break up from school. So that's kind of my Cancer season, I think. And yeah, extra focus on self-care. Um, so yeah, any words of wisdom before we close for the day?
Well, I am worried that we might all just become really crabby over the Cancer season. Is that a possibility with the pushing and the pulling back and all that?
Yeah.
Some of us might go into our shells a little too much, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for words of wisdom, you are worthy of nourishment. Yeah, I would go with that as my words of encouragement this month. Yeah. When you nourish yourself, it radiates out and that attracts more in, and you can just give more from that. So yeah, when you really do focus on yourself, um, yeah, it makes a bit more of an impact than worrying
I
about
think
everyone
so.
else and spreading yourself so thin and yeah.
Mm. I think that when we love other people, the most important thing we can do is take care of ourselves because otherwise we can't give to them with joy because we're so depleted and kind of resentful and we haven't got the energy we need because we didn't fill our cup. So yeah, I think a lot of women especially do feel like I have to give all the time. And then we get snappy and crabby. So yeah, taking that time to take care of ourselves is so important. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Amazing. Thank you. This is fun. I love talking to you. This has been absolutely brilliant. I'll pop a link in my bio for the 2024 astrological guide. So you're going to have all those dates there for you to refer back to for the full moon, the new moon, the retrogrades. It's all there, even a retrograde survival guide. And we'll be back. I'll be back with a guest in 2 weeks, but Magri and I will be back in a month and we'll be reflecting on Cancer season and looking forward to Leo season, which is always a blast. I love it.
Mm.
So thank you so much, Magri.
Thank you.
Mwah. See you soon.
See you
This has
soon.
been the Destiny Keys Life Purpose Astrology with Ahimsa Grace.